Buckle up for a wild ride when love meets classic cars. Ladies and gentlemen, car enthusiasts and drama lovers, buckle up because you're in for one heck of a ride. Picture this: a man, his dream car, and a girlfriend who's about to turn his world upside down. I'm talking about a shocking car catastrophe that'll make your jaw drop, a relationship wreckage that'll have you screaming at your screen, and a legal showdown that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. Trust me, folks, you won't want to miss a single second of this automotive soap opera. Alright, let's set the stage for this wild tale. I'm your average guy with a not-so-average obsession. My beloved 1967 Chevrolet Impala. Now, this isn't just any old car. This four-door beauty is my pride and joy, my weekend warrior, my time machine on wheels. I picked her up back in February 2019, and let me tell you, it was love at first sight. Fast forward a bit, and I've just bought my first house. We're talking a sweet pad with a 2.5 car garage that had my name written all over it. I moved my Impala in faster than you can say carburetor, and before I knew it, that garage was a gearhead's paradise. One bay for the body, another for the chassis, and parts, oh the parts. They were everywhere like a beautiful, oily jigsaw puzzle. Now, enter the girlfriend. Picture this: it's a couple of months ago, the world's gone crazy, and she moves in with me. Romantic, right? Well, hold on to your wrenches, folks, because this is where our story takes a turn for the worse. You see, from day one, my lovely lady and my lovely Impala, oil and water. She hated that car with a passion hotter than a manifold after a quarter-mile run. All she wanted was to park her car in the garage. Can you believe it? I've got 2 acres of prime parking real estate, shady trees, even a barn, but no. It had to be the garage. But hey, I stood my ground. Tough luck, I told her. It's my house, and I can't just snap my fingers and put this beast back together. Little did I know, she had other plans brewing. Buckle up, my friends, because what I'm about to tell you next will shock you to your core. A discovery so mind-blowing, it'll make you question everything you thought you knew about love, trust, and the sacred bond between a man and his project car. There I was living the dream with my new house, my project car, and my girlfriend. I had it all, or so I thought. There I was, happily tinkering away in my garage, surrounded by the sweet smell of motor oil and the promise of a beautifully restored 1967 Impala. I'd spent countless hours planning this restoration. Every paycheck, a chunk went straight into my Impala fund. We're talking over $11,000 invested in this beauty, parts, services, the works. This wasn't just a car. It was my passion, my hobby, my stress relief after a long day at the small local company where I work. Now, my girlfriend? She didn't quite see eye to eye with me on this whole classic car thing. To her, my precious Impala was nothing more than a heap of metal taking up valuable garage space. The arguments were becoming as regular as oil changes. But babe, I'd say, we've got acres of land. Park under the trees. It's nice and shady. But the garage is right there, she'd counter, eyeing my disassembled Chevy like it was her mortal enemy. Little did I know, this garage drama was about to shift into high gear. So there I was, out of town on a business trip. Just a couple of days, nothing major. I come home, and something's off. My girlfriend's all smiles, cooking up a storm, cleaning like a whirlwind. At first I thought, wow, she really missed me. But then I noticed her car wasn't in its usual spot. Weird, right? Being the considerate boyfriend I am, I asked where she parked so I could keep that area tidy. Her response, "Don't worry, honey. I parked in the garage." The garage. The garage. My mind raced. How? Unless. I rushed to the garage, my heart pounding louder than a blown muffler. And there it was, or rather, there it wasn't. My Impala gone. The body, the chassis, all those carefully organized parts, vanished. Turns out, while I was away, my dear, sweet girlfriend had hired some folks to come over and haul everything. And I mean everything related to my car to the local dump. Just like that, my dream, my $11,000 investment scrapped. I was shell-shocked, folks. Absolutely dumbfounded. This wasn't just a car she'd gotten rid of. It was countless hours of work, a significant financial investment, and a dream I'd been nurturing for years. In that moment, I knew 2 things for certain. It was over between us. This wasn't the end of the story. I told her to pack her bags and leave. Yes, I was angry, wouldn't you be? But I also knew I had to take action. So I did what any red-blooded American with a wrongfully scrapped classic car would do. I lawyered up. Now, here's where it gets really wild. Her family and friends? They're blowing up my phone, calling me all sorts of names. According to them, I'm making a mountain out of a molehill. It's just a junky car, they say. Just a junky car? Just a junky car. Oh, honey, you've got another thing coming. This junky car was a piece of automotive history, a testament to American engineering, and most importantly, it was mine. But here's the kicker, folks. Remember how I mentioned my new house has security cameras? Well, guess who caught Little Miss? It's just a junky car red-handed on film, letting the scrap guys in and overseeing the whole operation? That's right, yours truly. Add to that the stack of receipts I've kept for every single bolt and washer I've bought for this car. And suddenly, my case is looking prettier than a freshly waxed '67 Impala on a sunny day. My lawyer, he's grinning like a kid in a candy store. We've got the receipts, we've got the footage, and we've got a rock-solid case of you can't just scrap someone else's property, Karen. Am I wrong here for suing my girlfriend? All right, folks, let's recap this wild ride we've been on. We've got a classic car enthusiast, that's me, a girlfriend with a vendetta against vintage vehicles, and a 1967 Impala that met an untimely end at the scrapyard. Add in some family drama, a dash of legal action, and baby, you've got a stew going. Now, I know what you're thinking. Am I wrong here for suing my girlfriend? Well, let me break it down for you. She scrapped $11,000 worth of my property without my consent. She did it behind my back while I was out of town. She showed zero remorse and treated it like she'd done me a favor. I don't know about you, but in my book, that's a big ol' NTA. Not the a-hole, with a side of she better lawyer up. But hey, don't just take my word for it. I want to hear from you. Drop your verdict in the comments below. Was I justified in taking legal action? Or should I have just let my dreams of cruising in a restored Impala rust away in the scrapyard? And if you thought this automotive drama was wild, just wait until you see what's coming up next on this channel. We've got more car calamities, relationship wrecks, and garage grievances than you can shake a dipstick at. So if you want to stay tuned for more high-octane hilarity, smash that subscribe button harder than my ex smashed my dreams of owning a classic Impala. Hit that notification bell to make sure you never miss an episode of Relationships, Engine Trouble Edition. And remember, folks, the next time your significant other suggests a little spring cleaning in the garage, maybe hide the keys to your project car. Just in case. Outro joke. Well, I guess there's one silver lining in all of this. At least now there's plenty of room to park in the garage. Too bad I don't have a car anymore. Stay tuned, keep those engines running, and remember, love may fade, but a classic car is forever, unless your girlfriend has it scrapped. Peace out, gearheads.
Inheritance drama. When family dinner turns into a financial fiasco. Hey there. Hey there, YouTube fam. Buckle up because I'm about to take you on a wild ride through my New Year's Eve dinner from hell. Picture this. There I was, surrounded by my in-laws, ready to toast to new beginnings when suddenly, bam! I'm hit with the mother of all surprises. Let's just say, my inheritance became the main course, and I was expected to foot the bill for the whole dang table. Talk about a recipe for disaster, am I right? So what's a girl to do when her inheritance pocket becomes everyone else's meal ticket? Well, stick around because you won't believe what went down. Spoiler alert, it involves a silent exit, a 3 a.m. showdown, and enough family drama to fill a whole season of reality TV. All right, let's rewind a bit. I'm your average 32-year-old gal, living my best life, or so I thought. Everything was pretty normal until about a month ago when I inherited some money from my mom. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm grateful, but it's also been a bit of a blessing and a curse, if you know what I mean. The inheritance dilemma. So there I was, sitting on this chunk of change, not really sure what to do with it. I mean, it's not like I won the lottery or anything, but it was enough to make things interesting. Being the responsible adult that I am, stop laughing. I decided to park it in a separate account until I figured out my game plan. New Year's Eve surprise. Fast forward to New Year's Eve. My husband and I decided to ring in the new year with his family at this fancy restaurant downtown. Little did I know, I was walking into a financial ambush. Talk about starting the year with a bang. The Great Escape. Now, I don't want to spoil the ending, but let's just say that dinner ended with me pulling a Houdini and making a quick exit. Was it my finest moment? Maybe not, but was it justified? Well, that's what we're here to figure out. The drama unfolds, a New Year's Eve dinner gone wrong. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm your narrator for this crazy story. a 32-year-old woman who's about to take you on a roller coaster ride of family drama, financial expectations, and the dinner party from hell. I'm not usually one for drama, but when life hands you lemons, sometimes you gotta make a YouTube video. Right? The inheritance dilemma. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say, the inheritance in the bank account. A few weeks ago, I inherited some money from my mom. It wasn't buy a private island money, but it was enough to make things complicated. Being the cautious person I am, I decided to keep it in a separate account. To avoid the temptation of blowing it all on a life-size chocolate fountain or something equally ridiculous. Little did I know, this decision would set the stage for the dinner party disaster of the century. NYE dinner, expectations versus reality. Picture this, it's New Year's Eve, and I'm getting ready for a night out with my husband and his family. In my head, I'm thinking champagne toasts, silly party hats, and maybe some embarrassing karaoke. Normal family stuff. Reality check. What I got instead was a masterclass in awkward family dynamics and a crash course in how not to handle financial windfalls. Talk about a bait and switch. The inheritance pocket joke that crossed the line. So there we were, all dolled up and ready to party. The conversation was flowing, the appetizers were disappearing, and everything seemed peachy keen. That is, until my mother-in-law dropped the bomb that would set off this whole chain of events. Picture this. She leans across the table, gives me this sly little wink, and says, "So, dear, I guess you'll be paying for dinner out of your inheritance pocket, right?" I swear, you could hear a pin drop. And let me tell you, if looks could kill, my face would have been on America's Most Wanted. But being the class act that I am, or at least trying to be, I kept my cool. On the outside, anyway. Inside, I was a volcano ready to erupt. The silent exit a power move or a mistake? Now, here's where things get interesting. I had a choice to make. I could either blow up and cause a scene, or I could take the high road. So what did I do? I chose option C, the silent exit. Picture this. I calmly finished my meal, paid for my own food and drinks, yeah, just mine, stood up without a word, and walked out of that restaurant like I was strutting down a runway. Was it a power move? A moment of temporary insanity? Or just a classic case of, I can't even deal with this right now? You be the judge. The aftermath, 3 a.m. showdown. Now, you'd think that would be the end of it, right? Oh, how wrong you'd be. Fast forward to 3 a.m., and in storms my husband, looking like he just lost a fight with a hurricane. He's yelling about how I humiliated him and his family, how they were relying on me to pay for their food. Excuse me? And how this was all some elaborate scheme to get back at them for not helping my mom when she was sick. Let me tell you, if eye-rolling burned calories, I'd have lost 10 pounds right then and there. Because, newsflash, this had nothing to do with my mom. This was about respect, boundaries, and not treating someone's inheritance like a all-you-can-eat buffet ticket. So now, here we are. My husband's mad, his family's mad, and I'm sitting here wondering if I'm taking crazy pills. Apparently, I've caused this huge rift in the family, all because I wouldn't shell out for one fancy dinner. But here's the thing. It's not about the money. It's about the expectation, the assumption. The audacity to think that just because I inherited some cash, I'm suddenly responsible for bankrolling everyone's good time. And let's not even get into how my husband's been hinting, not so subtly, might I add, about how I should spend my inheritance. Last time I checked, we didn't inherit anything. I did. And call me crazy, but I think I should have a say in how it's used. The epic finale. Was I right or just hangry? All right, let's break this down one last time. Inherited some money? Check. Ambushed at a family dinner? Check. Expected to foot the bill for everyone? Check. Pulled off a ninja-level silent exit? Double check. The verdict, am I wrong here or the GOAT? So here's the million-dollar question, or in this case, the price of dinner question. Am I the bad guy here? Was I wrong to walk out on my in-laws during our NYE dinner? Should I have just sucked it up and paid for everyone's meal? Look, I'm not saying I handled it perfectly. Maybe a quiet, no thank you would have sufficed. But in the heat of the moment, with everyone's eyes on me and that inheritance pocket comment ringing in my ears, I did what felt right. My life lessons from this dinner drama. So what can we learn from this dinner party disaster? A few things. Money changes everything. especially family dynamics. Clear communication is key. Looking at you, husband. It's okay to set boundaries, even if it makes people uncomfortable. Never underestimate the power of a dramatic exit. Well, there you have it, folks. The Great New Year's Eve Restaurant Rebellion. Was I right? Am I wrong here? I'll let you decide. But one thing's for sure. Family dinners will never be the same again. If you enjoyed this roller coaster of family drama, inheritance shenanigans, and restaurant rebellions, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, with my family, there's bound to be more where this came from. And hey, drop a comment below. Have you ever been in a similar situation? How would you have handled it? I'm dying to know. Until next time, this is your favorite dinner party rebel, signing off. Remember, when life gives you lemons, sometimes you gotta squeeze them in someone's eye and make a run for it.
The Great Milk Switcheroo, when roommate drama gets dairy. Hey there, YouTube. Have you ever caught yourself wondering, am I the bad guy here? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because today's story is going to curdle your brain. Picture this: a missing milk mystery, a lactose-intolerant roommate, and a dairy-based revenge plot. Sounds crazy, right? Well, stick around, because this tale of roommate drama is about to get utterly ridiculous. The Milk Switcheroo, a roommate's revenge. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Am I Wrong Here, the show where we dive into life's juiciest dilemmas and figure out who's really stirring the pot. I'm your host, and boy, do I have a story for you today. Today's burning question: am I wrong for switching to regular milk to prove my lactose-intolerant roommate keeps stealing from me? I know, it sounds like a bad sitcom plot, but trust me, this is 100% real life, folks. Let me set the scene for you. Picture 3 guys sharing an apartment. We've got me, the victim, Randy, the alleged milk thief, and our other roommate, the Switzerland of this dairy dispute. We split the bills, we each buy our own groceries, and we label everything in the fridge. Sounds perfect, right? Wrong. For almost a year now, I've been living in the twilight zone of disappearing food. My clearly labeled leftovers, vanishing into thin air. My gallon of almond milk, emptying faster than I can say calcium deficiency. And at the center of this culinary crime spree, you guessed it, Randy, my lactose-intolerant roommate. Now, let me paint you a picture of our little home sweet home. It's your typical bachelor pad, mismatched furniture, a few movie posters, and a fridge that's seen better days. We've got a system, you know? Everyone buys their own food, we label our stuff, and we respect each other's space. It's like the United Nations of food storage in there. But lately, our kitchen has turned into a game of who stole the cookie from the cookie jars. Except in this case, it's who stole the almond milk from the fridge. And let me tell you, it's been driving me nuts. So here's the deal. I'm an almond milk guy. I like the taste, it's good for my gains, and it lasts forever. Or at least, it should last forever. But in our apartment, it's like my almond milk has sprouted legs and is walking itself out of the fridge. I'd come home from work, ready to enjoy a nice, cold glass of almond milk, only to find the carton mysteriously lighter than I left it. At first, I thought maybe I was going crazy. Maybe I was sleepwalking and chugging almond milk in the middle of the night. Hey, stranger things have happened. But then I started noticing other things. My leftover lasagna, gone. My pre-packed lunch for tomorrow, vanished. It was like living with a food-stealing ghost. Now, I'm not one to point fingers, but come on. There were only 3 of us in the apartment, and I knew I wasn't eating my own food in my sleep. Our other roommate barely touched the fridge, living off a diet of takeout and protein shakes. That left only one suspect, Randy. I tried to be cool about it at first. Dropping subtle hints like, hey, has anyone seen my lasagna? I could have sworn I left it right here. But Randy? He played dumb like it was an Olympic sport. So, I decided to confront him directly. Randy, I said, are you using my almond milk? And you know what he did? He looked me dead in the eye and said,
Dude, I'm lactose intolerant. Why would I drink your milk?
Oh, the audacity. The sheer nerve of this guy. We had more arguments than a political debate show. Every time I brought it up, Randy would deny it, tell me I was imagining things, or suggest I was bad at math. Me, bad at math. The nerve. The lactose trap. After nearly a year of this dairy drama, I'd had enough. It was time to catch this milk thief red-handed. Or should I say milk-handed? So I hatched a plan. A plan so diabolical, so cunning, it would make Sherlock Holmes proud. I decided to switch out my almond milk for regular, dairy-filled, lactose-loaded cow juice. Picture this, it's a quiet Friday night. I sneak out to the liquor store, buy a gallon of whole milk, and perform the great switcheroo. I emptied what was left of my almond milk, poured in the regular milk, and placed it back in the fridge, looking all innocent. Oh, the trap was set. Now, all I had to do was wait. Explosive aftermath. The next day, Saturday, I come home from work, and the apartment is eerily quiet. Too quiet. I walk into the kitchen, and there's Randy, looking like he's seen a ghost. Or should I say, like he's seen the porcelain throne, a few too many times? His face was pale, his eyes were wild, and he looked. Well, let's just say he looked like a man who'd spent some quality time in the bathroom. And then the explosion happened. Not that kind of explosion, thank goodness, but a verbal one. Randy started yelling at me, his face turning redder by the second. "What the hell did you do to your milk?" he screamed. "I've been stuck in the bathroom for 40 minutes with the worst diarrhea of my life." Now, I could have played dumb. I could have acted all innocent. But you know what? I was done with the games. So, I just looked him straight in the eye and said, "So, you're the one who's been stealing my milk." Oh boy, if I thought he was mad before. This was a whole new level. Randy went nuclear. He started ranting about how he only sometimes used my milk and ate my food. But get this, he was more upset about me switching the milk than the fact that he'd been caught red-handed.